Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Alex Michelson filling in for Charles. It's a big week.
Big week. Big week.
Big week.
Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos are tying the knot, and it is increasingly looking like something you might see in England.
Meaning a royal wedding.
Yeah.
Meaning not that they're going to England.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, they're going to Venezia. They're going to Venice, where Kim Kardashian married Kanye West, by the way. But this is going to be bigger. It's going to be way bigger.
Hopefully it goes a little better than that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you want that as your motto.
That's true. But this is going to be a 3-day event beginning Thursday, going in through Saturday. And it is going to be by land. It is going to be by sea. Their enormous Giga yacht is going to be docked nearby. And they will have events on that yacht. But also, one of the things we've been hearing, there's just a ton of celebrities and moguls. I mean, I don't know that they know non-famous people. It doesn't seem like it.
You know, Amazon executives.
I mean,
or
look,
anything
I will tell you. I will tell you. I talked to somebody today, just a few minutes ago, who was saying, and I'm sorry, but it was just so funny. He said they're inviting their best friends from the last 5 years.
It kind of feels like, you know what, like the Knicks games or the Lakers game, they have the celebrity row.
No, that's
and
exactly.
And you have to be certain level famous to be on the floor, and then you're next level famous in the second row. Like, you got to be a floor famous
to
make it
true.
to this
I
thing.
mean, they've got, you just name it. But the interesting thing is this, that we found out that there is this thing now that billionaires who have these mega yachts. I mean, there's a fabulous book called The Haves and Have Yachts. And it's just all about this culture of these giga yachts.
Evan Osnos.
It's really good book.
Yeah.
So these billionaires are staying away from the Mediterranean this month because they feel like it's going to be so overcrowded and so hyped up that all of these billionaires, apparently what we're hearing is they're changing their travel plans, and they're going to, instead of going to the Mediterranean in July, they're going to have to go in August. I mean, oh my God.
So hot.
It is so hot, poor guys. But it's just become a big thing that they are overtaking the Mediterranean in this.
What I've heard is there's an island off the coast, San Giorgio Maggiore, and there's a cultural center there, and I've heard that the ceremony is going to be held at that cultural center.
In fairness, we haven't confirmed it, but we're hearing from some people who are on that island.
I'm hearing whispers through Venice that it could take place there. I've also heard whispers that it might not be there, it might be somewhere else, but I've heard a couple really good whispers that it is going to be at that center.
So this is a very famous, actually, you know, the interesting thing is that you would think that this is going to be like a 500-year-old cathedral or something.
Right.
This was built in 1951. This is like Los Angeles. But it's beautiful.
And so there's no chance that it's on the boat.
It doesn't look like it's on the boat. This place is considered the crown jewel, by the way, of this area. It is really beautiful. But there is controversy.
There is. Greenpeace is really against this wedding. I don't know if you saw this. They had this giant banner they unfurled in St. Mark's Square. It basically says, if you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax. They're part of this big effort to basically say to Jeff Bezos, you're not welcome here. And one of the people who's organizing that, her name is Clara Thompson, and she joins us right now. Clara, I mean, they just want to be happy. What's wrong with them having their wedding in Venice?
That's absolutely true. It's every person's right to be happy. Your right, my right. However, this is not just about one man's wedding. It's about the extreme wealth gap, the climate crisis, and a broken system that lets billionaires dodge responsibility while people have to pay the price. So this wedding, while we're not targeting the wedding per se, it is about a system that is behind it, not this one man, but a lot of all billionaires that are currently not paying their fair share. So we're here to change that.
So, you know, they have donated, kind of quietly donated, money to various charities around Venice. So whether it's a tax or not, they have contributed money to the city. Isn't that good enough?
We appreciate every donation that benefits Venice, its environment. However, philanthropy doesn't replace fair taxation. We need systems that guarantee billionaires contribute their fair share, not systems where they pick and choose what they feel like funding. So let me say $1 million euro donation is welcome, but compared to his wealth, it's like tossing a coin into a sinking ship. So we need systemic change, not symbolic gestures.
Have you or are you doing similar things at other billionaires' weddings?
Oh, I think you just brought a new idea to mind. No, just jokes aside. So we are, in our campaign, we are obviously always looking for places and spaces that symbolize that extreme inequality more. And this wedding, because, you know, Venice is also affected by climate disasters, it's already paying a high price for what's going wrong in this world. So we're here to say something needs to change. And Jeff Bezos is one guy, but we're basically saying that, you know, we need a changing system. We need a place where billionaires are taxed in a fair way, so that we, the people, can benefit from those funds. And those, you know, we can fund solutions like green, renewable energy, greener houses for everyone. So there are good uses to put to that money, and we're here to say, let's start that today.
Finally, I get your point about inequality, about taxes, about climate. But a lot of this, too, is strategy. And, you know, it's one thing to picket Amazon. It's another thing, even you could picket where he lives. But is a wedding really strategically a good idea for you? Because you got to get the public behind you. And they may not be into you objecting when they're just getting married.
Definitely. And as said, this is not about one person's wedding. We celebrate love, and we should, and that's great. We're just saying that, you know, this wedding is taking place in it's a symbol of extreme wealth and privilege. It's playing out in one of the most climate vulnerable cities. You know, billionaires host lavish events on mega yachts. At the same time, public services are underfunded. The climate crisis deepens. Every day, people are being asked to tighten their bills. So this moment captures that stark inequality in our world, and that's exactly why we're using it to demand fair tax rules and real accountability.
Okay.
Clara Thompson, thanks for sharing your views.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
How do you think this thing is playing? Because they do represent wealth at a time when we've got ICE raids going on, when we're at war, when we've got all this serious stuff happening, and they're just flaunting that wealth, you know, in the middle of Europe right now.
I think that's probably the point, is that there are a lot of people who are going to say this is emulating Princess Diana,
right? And
they shouldn't be doing that. But I don't think it has anything to do with taxes or inequality.
No, I'm not just saying that. But
that's going to be, if there's criticism, it's going to be that.
I just wonder if the public kind of feels like.
Right now, I can tell you on the website, they're into it. They're into this. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on. I got to tell you, I am so into the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Yes, you are.
I just love this.
And you're not the only one. Because celebrities love this TMZ Celebrity Tour, right? Including one of the hottest celebrities around right now, Benson Boone, who is not only big in the music world, but apparently big with baked goods.
He is big with baked goods. He was at an event, I think at Amoeba Records, kind of celebrating the launch of his new album, and he's rolling down Sunset in a limousine. Check this out. He sees the TMZ tour bus, hands everybody cookies. Listen to this.
Hi, Ben!
How are you guys doing?
Great! Can you come out and come on the bus? Oh my God, he has his cookies!
Yo, I got a couple crumble cookies if you guys want to pass them out.
Yeah! What's up?
How we doing? How we doing?
It's an honor.
Hi, how are you? I'm Benson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. I'm Benson.
I heard that your album just was released today. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It came out last night.
Congratulations.
I know. Oh, thank you. Go listen. It's my favorite piece of work I've ever released. I didn't know I could sing growing up, so I don't think my childhood self would believe any of this. I really don't think so. I thought I was going to be in the NFL.
Wow.
Not only that, He finds out this 12-year-old kid in the bus, it's his birthday, and he sings happy birthday to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
We should have charged more for this tour. I mean, we should have doubled the price.
That's your reaction to
Yes.
this. I didn't make enough money off of this. The real
So
Harvey
this was
reaction.
an amazing moment for the TMZ tour, probably the top moment of 2025. And it's like gone viral now. A lot of people have seen it. He's passing by at the perfect moment, right by the tour bus.
He just is passing by that this wasn't set up?
It was like I knew as a tour guide that he was doing a meet and greet, and I was like, I didn't tell the tour, but maybe as we're like headed back to Hollywood Boulevard, we'll pass by him. I don't know. And just in a moment of pure luck, his black SUV or limo or whatever you said, he rolls down his window and he pops out his head and goes, "Who wants cookies?"
That's just amazing.
Well, and so we should say that he's got
guy.
a new deal with Crumble. That they're doing this Benson Boone cookie line, so that's why he's randomly holding Crumble cookies in his car.
But I
and
gotta
last
tell you-
week he brought them here to TMZ, or his team did.
His team did.
And they're very good.
Yeah, but he didn't come here.
He didn't come here and he didn't sing happy birthday to you.
And that's like, he seems like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Which you don't always see with celebrities who reach his level, but just stay that way.
Maybe it's
Benson.
because he's relatively new as a celebrity.
No,
at that level.
I'm hoping we got him.
Yeah. And did he do a backflip off the bus?
No.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Brooklyn. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I gotta say, I love Benson Boone. I love how upbeat and down to earth he is with all of his fans, but I'm not surprised that he wanted to be an athlete because with the flips he can do at a moment's notice, of course he's athletic.
Yeah, he is definitely athletic.
Great gymnast.
Boy, that was exciting. Okay, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we got some pretty big news on Diddy. The defense is not gonna call any witnesses, at least not right now, as far as we know. But we know something that they're talking about for closing arguments, and they may actually invoke the war with Iran. Welcome back to TMZ Live. The Diddy trial is going to go to the jury this week. Thursday, it looks like they're going to do closing. And this jury could get this on Friday. No idea how long it's going to take. But
We do know that Diddy is not going to be testifying.
Diddy's not going to be testifying. But there, apparently, at least as of now, there is somebody on the stand from Homeland Security. And they're the ones that initiated all of this. We're going to get into that in a minute. But as of now, and as we are doing the show right now, the person is still on direct. So assuming nothing significant changes, we are told they are not going to call a single witness, that they could simply stand up and rest their case. We are told the following, that the defense believes, A, the prosecution did not prove racketeering, B, they believe that the prosecution has not proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Cassie and or Jane did not consent to having these freak-offs, and consent would be a requirement. As for the Mann Act, which is simply transporting a sex worker for commercial purposes of prostitution, their argument is, well, listen to what the sex workers said. They said they were not paid for sex. They were paid for time and discretion.
So time to have sex.
No, time to be with them.
In which case, and during that time, they had sex.
I'm not saying that the jury's going to buy it, but that's what the sex worker said.
You think that's the weakest?
I'm sorry, but this is a very, very desperate type of argument. This is what you hear all prostitutes and escorts say because they don't themselves want to be committing a crime. So you say, no, you just pay for my time when you pick me up, and then I fall in love and we happen to have sex, but that's all consensual, and the money's for my time. This is ridiculous. I think the jury will see through that on the Mann Act. On the other two serious charges, maybe they're right that the prosecution hasn't made a strong enough case, but this is a risky sort of tactic to not put on any defense and try to rehabilitate Diddy in any way and just rely entirely on the burden of proof being too high.
Yeah, maybe so.
Even on the Mann Act, it's not minors. So you have a bunch of consenting adults, right? So Diddy's got a lot of money. He's got some strange sexual proclivities in the view of some people. And what? I mean, he transports sex workers across state lines, allegedly. They have these freak-offs. I mean, this is how he likes to spend his time. It's not a bunch of minors.
Yeah, it just seems like bedroom police at this point, where they're poking around what he's doing in hotel rooms, in his bedroom. They're making big deal about lube, Astroglides, baby oil, 6-inch heels.
I think Kid Cudi in his burned out car would say the case is about a bit more than just his sexual proclivities. They built a RICO case.
Well,
and they said he threatened the parents.
He's a criminal. He's a criminal for sure, because we've heard numerous crimes, including the Cassie video. The issue is it organized crime or is he a disorganized criminal, which is what the defense is going to say. But what's really interesting, and Austin just hit on this, about whether this is really a bedroom police case. We are told that one of the things that the defense is mulling over is actually invoking the war with Iran. I guess I can call it a war now. That they are saying what they're thinking of saying is Homeland Security, which launched this incredible offensive against Diddy, at his Miami house, at his Los Angeles house, at the airport, all of these things, that their eyes should be on the Iranian ball, and that this is just underscoring how their priorities are really screwed up.
Right, Harvey, and you mentioned those raids in LA, Miami at the airport. They testified, one of the Homeland Security agents, that about 70 agents were involved on the raid at Diddy's house in Star Island. He's a famous guy. People know who he is. That just seemed like overkill at that point. Like, he's not, where is he going to go? He's not going to run away.
Yeah, but I mean, doesn't the military take care of stuff like Iran? I mean, I don't know.
Well, Homeland Security,
that's kind of a lame argument.
But the argument is Homeland Security protects our homeland.
And they're busy rounding up people at Home Depot.
Too, I mean, you got a lot of federal agencies,
They're doing raids now at those sorts of places.
Yeah, we just put Iranian sleeper cells in America, in Florida or something, and they're worried about what Diddy's got in his closet.
Both foreign and domestic, and they think Diddy's a domestic threat to a lot of people in this country.
Homeland Security typically investigates sex trafficking. That's why they were on Diddy.
He's a threat to anyone who wants to buy baby oil, because apparently he's just cleaning out the aisles.
Jamil, it's my name, and I'm in Texas. And I don't think that it'll be a good idea for Diddy to testify. You have to really think about this. He's looking at life in prison. So imagine if he would cry on the stand. People are going to be like, he's lying.
He ain't taking the stand. Agnifilo told me, his lawyer, on one of our Tubi docs, our early Tubi doc, I don't think I can keep him off the stand. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and you are.
And just to be clear, with the discussion we just had, because some people might think that that's like excusing Diddy's behavior towards people, nobody's saying that he's a great guy. It's just the question is, those 3 charges, have they met their burden of proof?
He's a criminal. He beat Cassie. Yeah. He's a criminal for that. And there were other crimes that they clearly brought out.
They didn't charge him for that.
Well, they can't, because it's a federal case, and the beating, the statute of limitations is run. Okay, we are going to move on. Justin Bieber apparently had a rough weekend.
It seems like he's had a few rough weekends.
He's had a rough stretch. But on Friday, there was this picture that came out of Haley, his wife. No wedding ring. And that's kind of interesting, because it's on the heels of Justin, where he just, poured out his feelings about his mental health struggle and life. And so she shows up not wearing the ring, which seemed to be a statement.
And then Saturday, the ring's back, which may also be a statement by the time we see that.
And then Sunday, Justin Bieber decided to make a statement.
Bitch! If you giving me the silent treatment, at least tell me why. I have anxiety and I have overthinking. Left and right, they go hand in hand. If you give me any room for error, there will be error. Now you're cheating.
Guys, what's interesting here is on that outing on Saturday night, she was out with girlfriends. She was with Suki Waterhouse, Camilla Maroney. When you're going through a tough time in a relationship or a marriage, you lean on a girlfriend, a good friend. So it's another interesting clue or bit of the puzzle here that we have.
Well, but what about that
What was that video
Instagram
about?
story?
Yeah.
I mean, giving the silent treatment, and he's putting that up, you know, on the heels of Haley walking out without the ring.
And bitch.
Well, that's you just haven't watched Love Island. That's just that's a salutation now.
Hi, my name is Gianna. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And I think what's going on here is that we have two different types of individuals. We have Haley, who is more private, and we have Justin, who is more public with his emotions. And I think that her stepping out without her wedding ring on her event with her friends is indicative that there is trouble in paradise. I think that she is stepping back into her Haley Baldwin era potentially and realizing that what she accepts, she's allowing. And I think once the press started to make, you know, suggestive thoughts about what's going on within her marriage, she kind of crawled back into her comfort zone and put the ring back on. But I do think there is trouble in paradise.
Is there anybody, Harvey, who's in Justin's camp who can sort of take care of him right now? Because it seems like something's going on, and I wonder, is he okay, and is there anybody even to make sure he's okay?
Well, he says he's not okay. He's literally last week said, I am not okay,
Right.
and stop telling me why I should be, because it just pisses me off.
So who can help him? I mean, his wife, clearly that doesn't seem to be great. Obviously, he's got the strained relationship with his parents. He's got the strained relationship with Scooter Braun.
He's
Who
relying
is
on the
there?
church. It's all the church. His whole life is now built around this church.
Yeah, it clearly doesn't seem to be working. I mean, I feel for him.
I do too.
Just as a human being.
I do too.
All right, coming up, R. Kelly. Speaking of great guys. So his girl says, I love him, and his girl's family says, any video that suggests that must be AI. We'll tell you what's going on there when we come back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Justin Timberlake made Portland kids' dream come true by joining a bike bus ride. And they always listen to Justin Timberlake.
Cry me a river when they fall.
It's TMZ.
So apparently R. Kelly has a fiance.
No idea.
So,
no idea.
Jocelyn Savage, she's 29 years old.
Oh, well, we've known about her for years.
She put out a video talking about her love for R. Kelly.
I am not a victim. I've been with Robert for 10 years. He has been incarcerated for 6 years, and I have seen him every weekend for the past 6 years. Just 3 years ago, I proposed to Robert, and he said yes. And we are planning on getting married and having a family, and I'm very excited about that. But anyways, I just want to come out here and let you guys know to please do not believe the lies that my mother and father are coming out here saying about me and Robert. I am not held against my will. I am not a sex slave. I am not brainwashed or any of those crazy lies that were told on me. I choose not to call my mother and father because I do not want to talk to them. I have a cell phone, and I choose not to call them.
So she has been saying this for years, and there's been this rift between her and her parents were trying to get her out of the clutches of what she said was kind of R. Kelly's, you know, hypnotic pull. But you can hear there, she says she's all in.
Yeah, and Devin, her parents are reacting too.
Yeah, so her parents already reacted in this video where they are essentially saying that they are concerned from the video. Obviously, I mean, you see she has a photo of R. Kelly on her t-shirt, but also they're claiming that the video could be AI, which, I mean, I don't know about AI. AI is good, but that video didn't look like AI to me. And I mean, this is just such a tough situation, right? Because you feel for the parents who clearly are concerned for their daughter, but at the same time, she's also in her mid-20s, and R. Kelly's currently in prison. So, I mean, how much could she really be held against her will? I guess maybe just brainwashed.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this video for the parents.
It appears that the video is AI generated. Anybody knows about AI? How realistic videos can be from just a simple picture. It's brought some serious questions, and it confirms why
very serious concerns.
It confirms why we have been fighting so hard just to make sure she's fine here, being okay.
Look at what we see and judge for yourself and tell somebody else and say, hey, does this look like an AI generated? Because it looks like it to us. So thank you.
And whoever is behind the video, we demand answers, and we hope to get a resolution soon and to have some type of closure.
I gotta say, welcome to the this whole new brave world where nobody knows what truth is anymore. I mean, is that really Jocelyn? Is it AI? Do we really know? You hear people make a case that it is. You look at it and think, could it really be? And it's only going to get more murky as time goes on.
But
I mean, it's crazy.
But do we have any indication that that's not a real video?
The only reason I think it's real is that's on brand with everything she said for the last number of years.
And if that's AI, that's really, really, really good AI.
Really good.
Hey guys, Yassi Smiles here. Listen, I'm with you guys. Like, you can't really tell if it's AI or not, but she sticks to what she's been saying for years. What worries me is that she was 19 when they started dating, so it's pretty easy to get brainwashed when you're like that young, but sometimes parents just have to let them go and they have to learn the hard way.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a break.
When we come back, Brad Pitt gets really candid about his own alcoholism on a podcast with a buddy he met in AA.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. So Brad Pitt has had a real struggle with alcohol. You may recall way back when Brad was on an airplane with Angelina Jolie and their kids, and he had been drinking, and there was a confrontation, and the marriage unraveled. It became a whole years-long drama. Well, Brad Pitt did something, we knew this, to get help, and he did get help. What we didn't know until he jumped on Dax Shepard's podcast is how all in he was.
We can say men's group, right?
I was gonna
I
ask,
say
it's up to
AA.
you.
You're not supposed to, but I say it. I said that. I went on like some New York Times interview, and what a like amazing thing this experience was for me. I thought it was a really special experience coming from the Ozarks, where we're like, everything's great.
Yeah.
And so I do this interview, and I say this, and I got admonished by someone of the higher ups.
Oh, you did?
It's anonymous. I went, but
no,
but
how does that help anyone? Not for you.
That's what I said. You know, I was in I was pretty much on my back.
Yeah.
You know, on my knees. And I was really open I was trying anything and everyone. Anything anyone threw at me. It was a particular difficult time. I needed rebooting. I needed to wake up in some areas. And it just meant a lot to me.
I got to say, it's really impactful. Especially for people who are struggling and don't know how to get out of the struggle. The fact that Brad Pitt was, as he said, on his back and was able to get back up is really kind of inspiring, I think.
Yeah, I think it's kind of amazing that celebrities now, they're coming on podcasts, they're opening up about things, but can you imagine being in an AA meeting and Brad Pitt is there? Like, that was my first thought, was like, it's nice to be able to relate to him, but then how do you focus on your own struggles when Brad Pitt is right next to you?
I wonder though, if he met Dax Shepard, was it more like a celebrity-only sort of meeting?
No, there are actually a lot of these groups in Los Angeles where they do have celebrities, and Matthew Perry famously went to a bunch of them. He went to this one in West Hollywood a lot, and everybody knew it was Matthew Perry, but he was still. He had the same issue that all of them had, and they really blended in. I mean, it's hard not to know it's Matthew Perry all the time, right? But he was able to get through that, and it never came out.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm calling from Palm Harbor, Florida, and I just wanted to say I think it's really brave of Brad Pitt to talk about such a vulnerable time in his life. Like, it's a big full circle moment for somebody to be able to talk about it openly, and shows how much growth that he's had. I just really hope that he can continue in the future to maybe repair the relationships with some of the other kids that he doesn't have contact with.
That's going to be hard.
Who's your favorite pop star, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. Justice for Britney Spears.
Okay.
Really? Well, that's interesting.
Okay.
I cannot wait to see F1.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be, everything I've heard is an amazing, amazing movie.
Yeah, movie event. That's one to see in the big
excited.
screen.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right, congratulations, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the NBA champions, and they are the youngest team to do it in decades. It's basically a bunch of really young guys, and then Alex Caruso is seen as sort of the old guy because he won the championship with the Lakers. They're so inexperienced at this that look at what happened when they got into the locker room. You know, usually everybody's popping bottles, doing the champagne thing.
Okay, they take the cage off.
They have no idea what to do. So they have to turn to Alex Caruso, who won the championship with the Lakers in the bubble back in 2020 for some help. And they call him Old G or Unk. And he was able to help him. Here's one of the Thunder players talking about it afterwards.
Hey, C, how do you do this? Hey, C, teach me though.
When we got there, there weren't bottles being popped like you normally see. Do we miss that? And how much?
I mean, first of all, none of us knew how to do it. So, it was more like, like those like YouTube tutorials. And so we were just asking AC how to do it. And so it was a kind of not really in sync because no one knew how to do it. But yeah, shout out to AC for kind of teaching us how to pop champagne, I guess.
Look how bored that kid looks.
So the guy they're talking about, AC, is Alex Caruso, who is a whopping 31 years old, and he's won championships before. He won in 2020 with the Lakers, so he's got some experience popping the champagne. But it's funny, they're a young team. They had no idea what to do.
So I do have a question about this, and I should know this because my dad owned a liquor store and I worked in it. If you take the cage off and you shake the bottle enough, wouldn't the pressure...
I don't think there's enough pressure, Harv.
I don't know.
Let's try it.
Well, where are you going to get a bottle of champagne? We got nothing to celebrate. Where are you going to get a bottle of champagne, Babcock?
How about go to the liquor store?
I'm not going to the liquor store. I'm doing a show right now. What do you mean go to the liquor store?
Beckerman apparently has champagne in his office.
Oh, let's try it. We'll come back from break, we'll come back from break and we'll try it. How's that? Well, I want to see if it works or not. I mean, I should know this at this point.
Hey, Steven here out of Atlanta, Georgia. As you said, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the youngest team to win the NBA championship in several years in modern history. And Oklahoma City is a great city. I've been there twice. But it's not like it's the city for them to get a lot of reps in as far as bottle popping goes as NBA superstars. But congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. First championship in Oklahoma City history, Oklahoma history in professional sports, and we're just happy to see the young. I think the average age of the team is 25. So, yeah, they don't have a lot of experience, but congratulations again.
You think they're the favorites for next year again?
No, I hope my Atlanta Hawks are. But no, they have a good chance of repeating. They have a good chance.
Good luck with that. That could be a real dynasty for many years because they're so young and they've got more picks to come. Congratulations.
Boy, if that's the case, how much are they paying Luka and LeBron?
A lot of money.
A lot of money. They should win for that. My mom, they should win for that kind of money.
But they got a bunch of, in Oklahoma, they got a bunch of young guys making less money so they have more of them. That's what makes them so successful.
I understand. What's the book? What's the book?
Moneyball.
Moneyball.
Billy Beane. The
Moneyball.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in a movie with Brad Pitt to bring the whole thing together.
We're going to take a break. We are going to do our champagne test when we come back. And Johnny Depp says he was the lab rat for the Me Too movement.
How'd that work out?
Okay, we are going to do our champagne test in a few minutes. First, we got to get into Johnny Depp, who says he was the Me Too lab rat. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I didn't realize this. Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016.
Right, and you think of the Me Too thing, Harvey Weinstein was 2018, so he was.
How could that be almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But anyway, Johnny says that when Amber accused him, got a restraining order against him, and ultimately Johnny Depp won in that battle royale in court against Amber Heard. But he had some things to say about him and the Me Too movement.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what hurts. There are people, and I'm thinking of 3, who did me dirty. Those people were at my kids' parties, throwing them in the air. I understand people who could not stand up because the most frightening thing to them was making the right choice. I was pre-Me Too. I was like a crash test dummy for Me Too. It was before Harvey Weinstein.
It sounds like he did this in the Times. It sounds like he sounds almost proud of it. I did this before Harvey Weinstein. I mean, it's weird.
Well, but the way he was impacted, but it took him so many years to sort of clear his name.
Well,
but
it did.
His career's still not back to what it was at that point.
But he undeniably won. Well, you know, but part of it is age. You know, I get it, but part of it is just that he got a lot older. And Johnny Depp is not the Johnny Depp we remember from Pirates. And, you know, who knows? If he would have lost that case, he'd be done.
Right.
And Amber is now in Spain. So he won the case. I'm not sure anybody really won the war.
I thought he was going to have more of a career resurgence after that case because it got so much attention.
Harvey, it's kind of funny you said that you don't think anyone won the war, but actually I think Johnny did kind of win the war because like you guys said, had he lost that case, no one would have touched him, no one would have worked with him. He's already working on a new project. He's already in talks to join other projects that he's been a part of before. So I feel like maybe he does feel super vindicated to the point where, yeah, he can go out in the Times and say, I was used as a dummy, but look, I overcame everything and I'm going to get back to where I am.
My name is Christina. I'm from Philly. And this whole situation, it seems a bit weird. I don't know. I don't think he should have said that, especially if he wasn't too familiar, or unless he was just familiar. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
No, it's on brand for Johnny Depp. Every weekend we put polls up on the website. We want to see how you feel about things that happened, and a lot happened last week. So here are some of the results.
Has prosecution proved its case against Diddy? Absolutely, evidence is overwhelming. Nope, there's consent and no racketeering. What do you guys think? Absolutely, evidence is overwhelming. So our audience at least says he's guilty.
Yeah, but that's also a hung jury.
I guess that's the way a lawyer would look at that. Yeah.
Karen Reed, not guilty verdict. Justice served or gross miscarriage?
I'm saying justice served.
I think it's going to be split.
Okay.
Interesting.
They're sort of with me.
Okay.
Another hung jury.
Okay, Tom Brady's muscular legs. I'm so into that. Or hard pass.
Who's taking a hard pass?
I think the majority are going to say hard pass just because they always go negative, even though they shouldn't. There you go. I know our audience.
What's wrong with
that? It's just the way they are.
Bigger star domestically, Caitlin Clark or Shohei Ohtani?
I'm so into this question.
I'm going to say Caitlin Clark.
I'm too. Look at that.
Wow, look at that.
That is really
That's
amazing.
pretty astonishing if you think about it.
That is amazing. Okay, Babcock, did you get a bottle of champagne?
So I got a bottle of champagne. This is like my old waiter days. Here you go. All right, so I'm going to take the cage off, right?
Okay.
So this is
and then we're going to
testing
see.
out the...
All right, so here goes the cage.
Okay, now just shake it like wildly.
Okay.
And don't put the cork near your face.
Oh
I know, that's what I'm worried it's going to...
Is somebody behind you? I hope not.
Nope, just a big glass window here and some TVs.
Okay, at a point, we're just going to have to stop. I'll give you 10 seconds, okay? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh my God.
No, you don't have to pop it. You don't have to pop it.
You want me to pop it?
Oh, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to see how far it goes.
Whoa!
Who wants a drink?
Babcock.
We found Babcock. Honest to God, he was a bartender. And he sent a video in saying, "Here's why you should hire me." And I was so impressed.
Do not show that video on the show.
This is it's like his SNL audition. You got to check it out.
But it's true. I really did. I hired him from this video. It was so good.
Yeah, so it's full circle. And now he's doing TMZ Sports, and he's really...
he runs TMZ Sports.
He's running TMZ Sports and doing the hardcore investigations.
There you go.
Including the champagne
Back to your roots. Okay, we're taking a break. When we come back, Morgan Wallen brings out somebody for his big concert, and that somebody has beef with Kendrick Lamar.
And not the only person he brought out.
Yeah.
So Morgan Wallen seems to have a thing when he comes out for his concert. He brings out a different person in his posse, sort of WWE style.
I was going to say UFC, but I'll buy WWE.
Yeah, both, right? And so check out who he brought out in Houston. It was a strange combination of Drake, who you see there, and also Roger Clemens, the legendary baseball pitcher. So you got...
I get Roger Clemens. Drake's pretty controversial, although Morgan Wallen doesn't care what other people think, but if there are Kendrick fans in that audience, you got to wonder. They seem to receive Drake pretty well, I got to say.
I'm going to guess Morgan Wallen appeals more to Drake fans than Kendrick fans.
I
think
would
Drake
agree
and
with
Morgan
that.
fulfill more of a similar thing than Kendrick does.
Yes, agreed.
Finally, the Jews win country.
Yeah, if Drake does go full country, then he is the black Jewish Canadian rapper country star. Those things don't all usually go together.
Oh my God. Say that one more time, please.
He'd be a black Jewish Canadian country rapper.
That's amazing.
Do you think they would embrace him?
Yeah,
For
I
like
think there's a lot of
5
overlap
reasons, maybe not.
Hi, my name is Stephanie from Knoxville, Tennessee, not far from where Morgan Wallen is from. And I have to say that I'm not shocked. Morgan Wallen's going to do what he does. He's still on the controversy part. Drake's in, I'm going to do whatever I want to do era. But let's look at the positive here. At least he's not throwing chairs off roofs and he's performing.
There you go.
Baby steps.
Yeah. By the way, Drake came out over the weekend and said he's lost, which is no surprise based on what we've covered, lost millions and millions of dollars in gambling. Listen to that, folks. Listen to that. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, my name is Zach Ross, calling from Huntington Beach, California, commenting on P. Diddy. And I think it's kind of a smart move that he won't testify, because if he does testify, he's going to have to waive his Fifth Amendment right. And I don't know if I think that's going to be more problematic than not.
They would destroy him on cross-examination. There is no way ever Diddy was going to testify, ever. One more.
Hey, this is Navi from Tampa, Florida. Thinking back to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding this week, it seems really dystopian in a way. There are protesters in Venice right now, taxpayers, while they're just having a foam party out on the sea on their $500 million yacht, proving to the world that, yeah, nothing actually affects them because they are billionaires. So it just seems all pretty stereotypical and just out of touch.
I'm with you. I think it's got like Great Gatsby vibes. It just feels weird in a way that I didn't feel that way about the royal wedding, but I feel that way with this.
That's because they're royals.
These guys want to be royals. I don't know, but what is it about her? And the same thing with the space flight thing with Lauren. And I like Lauren, but it's just for whatever reason, she kind of provokes this.
I get it.
Reaction.
I get it. Okay, we're taking a break. When we come back, Love Island is the biggest show on television right now and streaming. Casa Amor starts tonight, and that is going to shake things up. This is, I got to say, now I can finally say it because I've watched an amazing show.
Love Island is by far the biggest thing in streaming. It's so popular, even Harvey is checking it out.
I'm so into this now. And I've only watched like the first episode of season 7, but I'm in. And tonight, see what happens is they basically bring in like a dozen people, and they're all really hot. And they try and challenge them and tempt them. And now they're going to bring in 12 more tonight to shake things up.
6 more.
12. 6 guys, 6 girls.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But I love these challenges. I love the sabotage of this. So I can't wait for Casa Amor. It's tonight. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
It's been fun hanging out.
We really always appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Charles is back tomorrow.
We will see you then.